Hi guys, we are going to do a hexagon with using just half double crochets. This is just called tiles, and the one reason I wanted to try to do this is because I had a request from my daughter for my 5-year-old's bedroom. Let me see if I can find the picture she sent me. It was just a picture she saw, and I asked her if it was like something with okay, let me turn the light out here. She asked me to see if I could do this, and I knew it was just a hexy square, so I told her yes, I'm going to have to find out how to do these little bees. That'd be the only thing I need to learn, get something to help me with those. But that's what I'm going to try to do. So that's why we're doing this tile in particular. And I want to thank a fellow crocheter on YouTube that was kind enough to send me. I had asked in her live yesterday what yarn she thought would be good to use, or what color that would be good to use. And it's Kim from Yarning for a Smile, Yarntopia, and she was nice enough to send me some suggestions, and one of them was from Hobby Lobby. So I do plan to go there next week for another project. I want to make this Agatha shawl. It's a reading shawl, and I've had it on my list to do, so I want to try to do that. And I just thought for today, sometimes this is going to be the honeycomb, and I haven't tried it. I'm not changing colors, mainly because I'm going to be doing this in a solid, but there are 6 color changes in this, so just a sample if that's what you want to do. Of course, you can rearrange your colors and change them out. It's not like it has to stay this way. So again, I'm just using this cotton yarn. It's the closest I could find that I had enough of in a yellow, and that's just because of the reason for the inspiration for trying this tile. And again, we have mainly it's chains, slip stitches, and double crochets. So we're going to get it started, and we are going to chain 4, and we're going to join them in a ring. So let's just go ahead and start doing that. Sorry, I'm trying to do this through the camera screen. Let me get this out of the way. Hopefully my phone's quiet since it's right next to us. We're going to keep the black background since I'm using a light colored thread. So let's go ahead and see if we can get a good position for this. All right, so it starts out with 4. Of course, you can, if you're in magic ring, you can do that. I've said it before, there are certain projects I like doing the chain for, and other ones I like doing the magic circle. And there are some projects that do actually suggest a magic circle in these books. So we've made our chain. Let's find the center. And for the starting of this, we are going to start with, get back here. Here we go. We're going to keep our tail going with us. And we're going to do a slip stitch in that circle, and we're going to chain 3. And that's going to, of course, count as our double crochets. So we're going to do 2 more. We're going to do a 3 double crochet clusters here, sets, just like we would in a granny, but of course we're going to be changing this out. And then we're going to chain 2 in between, and then we're just going to do that until we have 6 sets of these double crochets. So I am going to pause it here and get that done, and you guys work along if you're doing it with me, and we will meet once we have 6 sets of 3 doubles with a chain 2 in between. Give a little bit more light for the next one. Okay, so I've done my round. So we guys got to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do this mainly because I have been short, and of course it won't work properly for that. We are at chain 2, my last 2. We are going to slip stitch into that chain 3 that we made at the beginning. And then we're going to go over, we're going to slip stitch until we get to our next space. Okay, so we've done our slip stitch, and this time we're going to chain 3, and that's our double crochet, but we're also going to chain 2 more for our space, and then we're going to go back in here with another double crochet. We want to start going to the top of our these double crochets, so we want to make sure we catch that first one. We should have 3, 2. Oops, sorry about that. We'll just try it all over again. So it's going to take us to the corner here, and we're going to do the, well, if I can catch my yarn, a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet. So we're just going to carry on to the next corner. Oh my goodness, yarn. This, I thought I was going to like it more. This seemed to be working out today, but I cannot seem to keep it on the hook. Okay, we're going to work our way to the next corner or space and do a corner, chain 2. It works good if I keep my tension right, so it's just more or less, well, just blame me, not the yarn. And I still don't work with cotton that often. I like it, I just don't work with it as much. So we're just going to our next corner, and this is all this is all the way around. Now it's not a complicated stitch. We do this actually through the whole tile, but this is the corner. We'll do a little bit of videoing of each one just so we work together. And then you just always want to make sure you're getting to that first one of that. So there's the start of that. I'm just going to pause it, do the rest of it, and we will see you for the next row. Okay, so here's what we should have. We're getting our sides in shape. And I just connected that to that chain 3 that we did earlier. I'm going to trim my little tail here. We just followed it along, so I think it's going to be secure in that. And now if you're changing colors, of course you would have, if you had wanted to, depending on how you're doing it, you would want to do that here. So we are going to go in here and do a slip stitch, and now we're going to chain that 3 plus 2. The 3 again is our double crochet, the 2 is our space, And this is what we're going to do again for the sides. I think this is be a pretty blanket for like a honeycomb. She's not wanting it real big. She just says she wants it at the foot of the bed for decor. So I'm thinking a Afghan size. I thought about a twin. I might do that. Anything smaller would be more a shawl type. And, you know, that's, I mean, it can be folded if it seems to be too big for the bed. So she's got a full-size bed. So it has to be, if it's just going to go on that, of course it'll have at least the width of that, and that's kind of a size of a twin. Okay, so we're to the corner again, and we're just going to I did a double, chain 2, and go back in with a double crochet. And this is just all you're doing. You're just going to be building your sides. Oops. Now I'm going to be using worsted weight, so it would be not as many rows as this would. This is still a 4, but it seems so much thinner. So I would imagine by the time I crocheted 6 rows, it probably wouldn't be, 7 inches. We're just doing the corner. So as I said, we're just going to be building this up. The instructions doesn't change anymore. It's just always going to be pretty much a repeat until you want the size you want. Chain 2. And then we're going to continue that around. Now I am going to stop at these rows because there is nothing new. You just do it as big as you want. What I thought I'd do is stop and add the, well, okay, I probably won't do that. Sometimes I feel like I'm worried you guys think I'm boring. It's too boring because it's like, well, that's the same thing. Okay, I learned what it is. Or do you want me to continue, showing you as it grows? But you have to let me know when it's something like this. Is it like once you've learned how to go the next row, do you want to still have the video go on longer? Okay, so we are just going to slip stitch this and end our row. It is nice that it's all ending in a corner, so this sometimes you have to travel to get to your next corner, and this is all worked at the corner, so that makes it nice. All right, I think the more rows that comes in, the more, the sharper the edges become. So there's that. And then we're just, we just start off the same again. We're just going to slip stitch in the corner. Just remember each corner is a double crochet. So chain 3, that's how it starts. And then chain 2 for your space. And then do another double crochet. And then you just want to make sure you start and do a double crochet on each top space of your stitch, rather, of your double crochets, and that's how you would do a tile or solid hexagon. I hope this was helpful. I appreciate you watching and learning this with me. Someone said they would rather see more simpler stitches taught sometimes, and I hope they're watching and see this, because it is pretty. And just imagine it with a border. I have got, I'm trying to think, here, let me, this is kind of a wrong, this is gonna be the wrong color. Yeah, but could you imagine that, bordering it out and making the blanket, that could be connecting them. And that's my one of my pick a stitch samples for this week. If you haven't voted for that, go to the community page, please, and take a moment to vote and show which one you would rather see. I'm kind of surprised because the checkered one I just showed you was ahead, and now the other one is. I love having a brain moment. Oh my goodness, the name of it. The Ridge. Sorry, I'm having more of those moments in my life than I really want to admit. Raised rib. I knew rib, but I couldn't think of the first word. That's so bad. But anyway, thank you for joining. I'm just going to do this a couple more times. And I think I'm going to add the edge to it so I can put it in my, I have a book that I use for my projects. Let's take a moment to share this with you. I got it off Amazon, and when I'm going to do a project like I did, let's see, which one's this one? I am still working on this blanket, Annie's blanket, but my granddaughter Scarlett, this is all her notes. It changes sometimes, but then I put a swatch of all the colors and the temperatures that I plan to change. All this came from, I believe, Hobby Lobby. If it didn't start out the way, it ended that way because, oh no, it started out with Impeccable from Michaels. But to be honest about it, when I went to go back and get more, they didn't have it. So I switched to a Hobby Lobby. I love yarn because it was yarn that they carried all the time. This is Annie's. So kind of just basically did the same thing. This is a granny square I'm using. It was a repurposed yarn. I just put the colors, worsted weight, where I got it from. I'm using a 5.5 hook because that project is put away. If I do this, I can come back, and if my math is right, I can see what it is. I just did a sample of the yarn that I'm using, and I can come back and go back, okay, I used a 5.5 hook because if you have, my brain won't remember that. I did a cup cozy, I wrote it out. I did a really beautiful blanket. This is one of my favorite blankets that I did. It was a yarn bee that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I just did all the details, what hook I had. So again, if I stopped a project and my hook wasn't with it, I knew what I needed, and then what I decided to do. And this is an Afghan. Wait a minute. This is an Afghan, not an Afghan, a shawl that I've been working on. I just put the list time, I put the label, and it's a lightweight, and then kind of the instructions for it. I have another blanket to make for my grandson. I've got the yarn, but I haven't started that. This is a pattern. Yes, it's a messy because I was trying to make my own pattern of a stitch that I liked, and so this is a lot of a lot of scribbles and a lot of details. So I'm keeping it with it. It's a purple baby blanket. Alternative pattern. It's from a Crochet Directions. It's Filet Square. That I do like that. And then this yarn, Hirschner's Baby Yarn. This is a yarn that I found at Goodwill. And it was these combinations. So, and I even put that down. Found at Goodwill. And then the information. It was fortunate enough that one had a label. So, triangle shawl. I did finish this. I didn't put the yarn, but I did put my stitches at the bottom that I used. And then, let me see. My ear warmer. I didn't have a sample made, but I have it over here. So I just kind of decided what I wanted to do on it. This is kind of my first time of my trying something on my own. And then this is my latest project. This is the sample. And did some math to see how many beads I would use. It's a lot. a lot. But that's if I did that wrong. Right, rather. So this side's blanket, how many beads I would need. And all I did was I measured this and I counted how many beads it took to do this sample. But anyway, that's my latest one. So I do like this. I love this book. I really do. And it's just my crochet project journal. And that has that. So what I'm going to do, all that to say, when I would do one more row, I have a little bit of gold colored yarn. Oh, come here, you. So I'm not making a big sample of it because this is all I have of it. And I'm going to try to see if I can get around it and leave that in the book and start start that page so I can have it ready. So that's about it. I might show a little picture or a clip of this once I get it done. But for now, that's it. I appreciate you watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye for now. Like I said, I'm going to just pop in here and show you the corner. I kind of wonder if on the final corner, of course, if it's going to be attached to other ones, so it'll take shape better. But anyway, just imagine it with a whole bunch of these, and the little bees. Be so cute. All right, that's going to be the sample for the blanket. What do you think about these two colors together? Do you think the light colors with the darker on the edge is the way to go because it's similar? Or do you think a little bit darker yellow with, of course, the darker on the edge would be pretty? Okay, thanks again. That's it. Bye.